We've been following this throughout the night. We've got Angelina Salcido and Rafael Lopez who are in Des Moines. They're near 57th and Hickman, where that rain has been tremendous tonight. They've been bringing us reports of people rescuing others from the cars.
This is not the first time that Des Moines, especially this neighborhood, has seen flooding quite at this level.
Well, this large basketball tournament can really get you into the spirit of hoops, whether it's watching or playing them. This is right along Grand Avenue. Want to see exactly how wide this pothole is. This was a truly terrifying time for Dewey and his entire family. They were in their basement, huddled together. They didn't know the storm was over until they looked out this window and then saw these branches. It is the city's 9th homicide of the year. Local 5's Erica Rankin has been downtown following this story all afternoon. Erica, what's going on with the perimeter right now? And that means it's parenting responsibilities, duties, costs, basically everything would be split right down the middle for both the mother and the father in these custody disagreements. Welcome to Local 5 News, home of WeAreIowa.com. I'm Jacob Peklo. Bryn Carmen has the night off. Well, we are following the Cyclones' road to the championship. Cyclone fans are celebrating tonight after a terrific run through the Big 12 tournament. They aced 3 tough games in a row to get themselves an automatic berth into the NCAAs. Local 5 Sports Director John Schaefer joining us live from Kansas City tonight. John, fans, they got to be pretty pumped, huh? All right, John, thank you. We're just getting started here with our coverage of the Cyclones' big win tonight. We've got much more, and as John mentioned, coming up later on in sports. Well, certainly a big weekend in downtown Des Moines as well for St. Patrick's Day parties and a parade. The annual parade made its way through the Western Gateway area of downtown today. Parade goers had a great vantage point from the Papa John's Sculpture Garden. It passed them and headed down Grand Avenue. Of course, after the parade, that's when the parties downtown really got started. One of the most popular spots was at the Royal Mile. You can't go through a St. Patrick's Day weekend without finding some green beer. It's also difficult not to hear bagpipes this weekend, for better or for worse there. And that's exactly what one group is going for. Now, the party at the Royal Mile continues until closing time tonight. And with tomorrow being the actual St. Patrick's Day, you better believe the festivities, they're going to continue. A free shuttle will take you between the Hall and Sully's Irish in West Des Moines, the Front Row in Clive, and Mickey Finn's in Des Moines. There are still several closures for portions of Interstate 29 and 680. There has already been 1 death in Fremont County after the man drove through the barriers and couldn't make it through the water. He later died at the hospital. Just a reminder that the barriers and the road closed signs are there for a reason. We are Iowa's most accurate weather forecast. Brandon, you've been watching the flooding, but tonight you're also keeping an eye on, don't even want to say it, rain and snow again. Well, flooding has also impacted Dallas County's land-based 911 services. In Medill, they are feeling it already at the Sheriff's Communications Center. At this time, all land-based 911 services are being redirected to another 911 center. That center will forward all of your information over to Dallas County. You can use the number on your screen to report both emergencies and non-emergencies. CenturyLink has been working to fix the issue. The Dallas County Sheriff's Office says this does not affect its wireless 911 services. Meanwhile, Centerville police are cracking down on speeders this weekend. There was an increased traffic enforcement presence at the entrance to the Indian Hills Community College as well as a daycare center. That's at the intersection of North 1st and West Franklin. There they stopped about 20 cars in about an hour and a half's time and issued out several warnings to drivers. The number would have been even higher, but they were unable to stop everyone driving by. Now, if you live around that area, beware. This crackdown is going to happen again within the next 2 weeks. But next time, they're not going to issue just warnings. They're going to issue tickets. Developing right now, a PhD student from Iowa City found dead in a national park in Utah. He fell more than 500 feet to his death. 33-year-old Jonathan Hogue was a hiker and backpacker who was known to hike some long distances, and his dream was to one day become a park ranger. Utah police say Hogue was hiking near an overlook at Island in the Sky in the Canyonlands when he went missing. A search began on Tuesday and ended when he was found on Friday. The local sheriff's office is continuing its investigation tonight to determine just how exactly Hogue may have gone off of the path. Meanwhile, 3 people are in the hospital tonight with serious injuries after a head head-on crash in northern Polk County. It happened in the 4800 block of Northeast 94th Avenue. That is just east of Bondurant. The Polk County Sheriff's Office says one woman and two men, all of them in their 20s, were involved in it. Deputies are not sure what exactly led to the crash, but they are still investigating tonight. Meanwhile, Local 5 is your local election headquarters, and Democratic presidential candidate Cory Booker is in Iowa again. He's visiting multiple places this weekend, including Des Moines, Indianola, and Ames. Senator Booker held his meet and greet in Indianola at the Annalise Winery this evening and spoke to his platform, including green technology. Booker has been a leading proponent of a new Green Deal. We'll have much more with Senator Booker on Local 5 News. Our political team has a one-on-one interview scheduled with him tomorrow. Look for that on our political show This Week in Iowa next week. Moving on now to tonight's big national headline. In Washington this week, lawmakers took a closer look at rural broadband possibilities, specifically how to ensure both quality and availability improves in country communities. Local 5's Washington correspondent Alexandra Limon explains why some companies are concerned about the new rules. Still to come on Local 5 News at 10. The game of bags is a game of champions as well as a popular game for parties. It's no different on St. Patrick's Day. How the common summer game is actually helping out local animals. Then Iowa State rolled to a big win over Kansas and is now the Big 12 champions once again. What Cyclone player earned the title of most outstanding player of the tournament? As a look at the light snow and rain in central Iowa. Trey Fulbright, a student at Iowa State, took this while he was on campus in Ames today. Just when you think it's done, winter finds a way to remind us it's not over until it's over, Brandon.
Yeah, it's, you know, a little bit annoying to say the least.
Been waiting for a long time to have a weekend that was really, really good. Today started that way. The rain maybe upset that a little bit, but still, all in all, very good.
I would still call today a win for a lot of folks. I mean, most of it came after the sun set, so, you know, if you were outdoors this evening, maybe, you know, kind of a hamper, but otherwise pretty good.
Otherwise pretty good. Yeah, thanks, Brandon. Still ahead, the Cyclones' victory came against an opponent who has frequently been a thorn in their sides. How'd they get the better of Kansas this time around?
All right, so a lot of folks are dealing with a little light rain, little light snow, but I promise it's over by tomorrow. Lots of sun.
That's right. Look forward to 60 by the end of the week. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 5:30. I think everyone's having a hard time getting a gauge on the Hawkeyes, and that's been the case all year long.
Yeah, we don't really know exactly who and what they are. They sometimes look like a top 10 program.
Experts say exercise is important, diet matters even more. So
I know it does.
I don't know how Harvard was like filming me while I was sleeping or something, but they must have known exactly what my routine was.
We were just talking about cake and the temptations of having it and starting the new year on the right foot.
Rescuers out here in Mills County first learned on Sunday night when they were actually trying to rescue a horse that there were 30 dogs on the other side of this water. The only way to get to them right now is by boat.
Wastewater deep. So we're going to walk into a situation of cars and just other home stuff sitting back there floating around to get to these animals.
Yep.
That task was a tall one.
The current's going to be a big issue. The water level's rising. It's got to be a quick but calm manner to get out there and back.
You got it? You got it.
And it meant traveling in groups just to get across the water.
We need to move them out to safety and get them bedded, get them warm, get them food, and then we'll go from there.
It looks like they're still on dry land.
But the water isn't only high, it's actually filthy.
Amy, if you want to let go, I have control of the canoe.
Oh, I don't want to let go.
Okay.
And once they get to the dogs, they're not all eager to get out.
Some are timid, some are not. It's going to be a hit or miss on how this works out. We're going to try to get the more timid ones out first and then base from that situation on where to go.
Volunteers worked methodically to round up the dogs, who were all scattered across the property. There was a definite sense of urgency to get all of this done, too.
I need it, yeah.
You got mud slipping out from underneath you as to our trail is a driveway, a dirt gravel driveway.
Yeah, go ahead, wants to come along.
Well, let's get them.
And they're glad, though, they put in the time that they did. Even a few hours delay could have had a tragic difference.
Go in there? I think they go. Come on. There we go. Some of them already are hypothermic. They're lethargic, and I don't believe they would have made it 24 more hours.
Our dad would make us help out clean up areas in surrounding towns, in our own.
Growing up in Oklahoma, Dewey Bass has been in the middle of tornadoes before.
We were always okay. This time, I had my kids and my wife and people I really cared about. And that was the first thing, get them to safety. And I'm fine. I've been through it before, but at the same time, I got a little scared when my ears popped.
Dewey says the skies were blanketed and he knew something bad was about to happen.
It just got dark right away, just all of a sudden, and then electric went out, and I got the kids rounded up, and we never had a plan.
This was a truly terrifying time for Dewey and his entire family. They were in their basement huddled together. They didn't know the storm was over until they looked out this window and then saw these branches right in front of their house.
It's terrible. This was home.
But even in this trying time, Dewey looked for others to help.
Our neighbor, she's an older lady, checked on her right away, and she was fine. Pulled some limbs out of her window. So she was happy with that.
Right in there. See that?
Next door, his neighbor was dealing with his own heartbreak.
All this porch broke it. All those trees making a big noise.
For now, they're not dwelling on what they lost, but instead, they're focusing on what they still have.
My family is okay. Yeah, my daughter called me, and what happened? I'm okay. I'm okay.
We're okay, and that's what matters.
46 rumble. Down.
The Creston Panthers may not be the flashiest football team, but the coaching staff is committed to developing its talent.
We call him Coach Tanner. He's a big part of the team. I think we feed off him a lot, his excitement.
Good. Tanner Webb has been on Brian Morrison's staff for 9 years now.
He was interested in helping as a freshman. That's when he started, and like he said, he was a manager with us for a couple years, and then once he graduated high school, we gave him more responsibility as a coach.
And now Tanner is a certified coach and has grown into a critical cog for the staff.
It's fun. It's something that I always was hoping was a possibility.
How he sees the field helps everyone refine their skills.
He's always focusing on technique and stuff like that, and that's really big for us because a lot of football games are won by techniques.
Get to see a lot of the kids grow and kind of reach their full potential, at least athletically, has been something that I've really enjoyed.
Tanner has cerebral palsy and used to walk when he was younger, but had his hips reconstructed in middle school. He's been in a wheelchair ever since.
People look at him like, okay, he's in a wheelchair, he's not a coach. That's not true whatsoever. He brings so much to this team, a lot of energy, a lot of knowledge.
Tanner helps break down plays on both sides of the football.
He wants to learn the game. He is a student of the game of football.
But defense is his specialty.
He sees a lot of places where people need to go. We'll watch film and he'll be like, okay, you need to go there, you need to be there, you need to fill this gap.
Through it all, Tanner embodies positivity.
There you go. Nice play.
The players love what he brings to the table.
He's always just been positive. Every time we come off the sidelines, even if we had a bad drive, bad series, he's always staying positive, telling us keep our head in the game, stay with it, and we'll be fine.
I can pick out things, I guess, small little details that, not that nobody else would see, but that I guess I have my own way of looking at it, I guess. I don't know.
His work ethic, infectious.
Run.
I personally call him a family member of mine.
And his story, an inspiration to others who may have a disability.
Nothing is impossible if you can put your mind to it. I've been very fortunate to be surrounded with the people to give me an opportunity to do this stuff.